Good evening. It is the 23rd. We're about 9:30. I'm stuck at home waiting for batteries to charge and they're being stubborn. Um so I'm going to do a real quick report for you. Last night or early this morning, about 3, 4 o'clock our time, we had a X1 flare accompanying with the ACME that was a 3/4 halo hit. This is going to hit us. This came from 3614. This is a definite hit. You can see most of the activity, and 3614 at this point was sitting right about where the arrow is. My cursor arrow, it's right in this area. So this is blowing out forwards and sideways. So you kind of got to use your imagination and draw it forwards out really fast to get that sideways glance. So it's moving forward faster than it's moving sideways. You know it's going to hit Earth if you draw it in a 3D picture. Okay? So it is going to hit Earth. This is an X-class flare accompanied with the CME. Whoops. We have coming at us, we should be clouding up tonight by midnight. Sunday, we're clouding into snowy skies. Monday, Tuesday is going to be rainy, nasty, warming on Monday and Tuesday, and then cooling off on Tuesday night again to freezing snow and rain. Wednesday, it will warm up a little bit, but it will just exit the bad weather, clearing skies, and we should have partly clear skies by Wednesday night. So we're going to pop over here. We're going to jump into our flares. After our X-class big flare right here, that happened at 1 o'clock, we had right here the accompanying CME that blasted off. That was our 3/4 halo hit. Okay, so when you get a break like this, that usually means that there's a big CME that followed, and that the flare hit the satellite and the imagery dropped out, but there was something else there too. Since then, and I'm going to move this forward so we get just up here by this X-class flare and you can see the activity better and how long duration is. This is an extremely long duration followed by a long duration CME, and you have got non-stop flaring of M-class nature, very long duration flare. That means you're going to get a lot of energy coming off those flares. That means there is more than just a quick flare. And it made it off the surface of the sun. You may see some activity tonight from that flare, because flares move faster than CMEs. Flares can hit Earth in as little as 8 minutes. So you may be seeing some activity that spikes tonight because of all the flaring. Let's go look at our sunspot activity. We have a new sunspot that has developed over here, 3621. It is a beta class flare or sunspot. 3614 gave us our X-class flare, and that is probably where our big CME originated. But all our M-class flares are coming from 3614. Now, just probably, just as a guess, just as 3614 clicked out of Earth facing into our active zone, because if you've been watching the patterns, just about the time that our sunspots move out of Earth facing and they click past Earth facing, they go active. They get activated. They suddenly take a pop in energy. That's when we had our X-class flare. That's when all the energy got dumped. We have 3615 starting to hit that point. I look for that to start really giving us more energy. And now these two are going to be in our active zone. I now look for these to start giving us more than they have. So we've been getting M's, we've been getting X-class flares. I now look for these to get even more active and start maybe dropping some CMEs. We have 3619, 3617, and 3620. These are beta class. They are capable of giving us storms. They are not doing so at this time very much, but they are capable. And as they rotate into the active zone, I do look for these to become more active. But I think 3614 and 3615 is where our big storm will come from. Now, flaring will hit in as little as 8 minutes. So any flaring could happen any time, any day. But any CMEs that hit between now and 2 days from now is going to hit at a time that we have partly clear skies. So you want to pray that we get the big CME in the next 2 days. Because if we get the CME in the next 2 days, then it will hit when we have partly clear skies between Wednesday and Friday. And that's what we want to see. And we're going to have clear skies Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. We're going to have a rain on Saturday night. And then we will have Sunday night clear skies, partly clear skies again. So we have possibility of some good weather coming up, and we've got to be ready. And don't be like me and forget to charge your batteries. So we have some good weather. 3614 is spreading out, and some of the positive and negative are starting to interwrap. This means it is starting to become more active, and there's a possibility for it to become more active as it spreads out and more things start interweaving in between and more spots start to develop. You've got a negative spot here and a positive spot here, and I'm seeing the development of more spots. So I think we're going to spread, and it's going to become more complex, and we're going to get more interweaving of the patterns. This is 95% for a C, 20% of another X-class flare out of this one. 3615 is our beta, gamma, delta. This is very irregular shaped spots. It is not mirroring each other. Everything is interwrapping and interweaving, and this is continuing to spread a little bit and expand sideways and become longer, but it's interweaving in different ways, and it's rapidly changing. So this is continuing to grow. This is where the continual pop is coming from. But if you go back up here and look, we have a triangle of power developing. 3621 just developed. That means there's a lot of power right in this area. There's a lot of energy up in this area right here. This is where our big one could come from. So we want to keep our eyes on that big area in the next couple of days. Again, a different view of our, they changed that even more. That's the cactus view of that flare hitting our, the updated view of, that's what it looks like when it hits the satellite. So the X-class flare has now hit the satellite, and you should be seeing that X-class flare within the next hour. So I would look for a spike in the next hour in your CMEs or in your auroral activity. Yes. So I would look in the next hour for a spike in activity. You are probably going to see a big spike in activity in the next little bit here. And I'm going to leave you there, and I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to try and make it out the door, provided my batteries are charged.